You are good to go, David.
Okay, thanks, John. Hi, everybody. I'm David Bryant. I'm a librarian at Lexington Public Library. Thank you all for coming and trying out this new format with us. I think we had a great time last week, and I think we'll have fun this week too. I recognize a lot of the names here from people who've come to past programs we've done at the library, so that's fun. And welcome to all the new people. I'm going to talk a little bit today about some kind of unexpected websites you can use for genealogy, starting out with Facebook. So I'm going to share my screen right now. And like John said, you can submit questions through the chat. And if we don't get to them during the presentation, we'll answer them at the end. So.
And David, I just shared your email address.
Okay. Yeah, feel free to email me questions if you'd like. Okay, and hopefully you see my screen now, the Lexington Public Library homepage. I just, like we did last week, I just want to call your attention to a lot of the digital services that we have right now. On the homepage, first we have the virtual events listed, where we have upcoming online programming, food programs, cookbook club, story times, all kinds of things. And then also you click over here, digital services for adults. There we go. As most of you know, of course, we have ebooks, audiobooks, but also pay attention to, for example, lynda.com. There's thousands of classes available on Lynda. Some of it is really basic. Some of it is just really, more involved tech kind of stuff. But I was taking a beginning photography class, and you go at your own pace. It's really a great resource. So do take a look at some of these resources. You will need a library card and your PIN. The PIN is typically the last 4 digits of your phone number. But if you don't know your PIN or you need a library card, it probably be easiest to go over to where it says contact us and send an email, and somebody will help you get that in order. Okay, and then also before we get started, I want to jump over to the Kentucky Room homepage really quickly. And I think John provided a link for that as well. But we've got lots of resources on here, but what I wanted to specifically show you today is down at the bottom, this link here that says Genealogy Club. That's where we post all the links that we discuss in these chat programs that we do. So what we talk about today, we'll make it available on this page for you to refer to later. And they're organized by topic. And it's a pretty nice resource to be able to go back to refer to. Okay. First thing I want to talk to today is using Facebook for genealogy. Of course, Facebook is a part of our lives. I mean, it's way too much a part of my life, to be honest, but I spend a lot of time on Facebook. But actually, I waste a lot of time on Facebook, but there are some features for your genealogy that I think you'll find pretty helpful. And Jonna volunteered to be the guinea pig for this one. We're showing her profile. But if you'll notice here, Jonna has additional, we know her as Jonna Walden, but she has additional surnames that she researches listed. So you'll often see like a woman with their maiden name in their profile, but she also includes other names that are in her family tree that she's researching. So she has Jonna Dotson Dingus Walden. And she says that that's helped her a lot. She managed to connect with a line from Dotson's from Kansas, and she said she actually made a lot of family connections through that. And it's also a good thing to do if, for example, there was information not included on your birth certificate. So that way you can then use that to connect with people. Did I say that right, Jonna?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, good. So that's just kind of a simple thing that you can do. And then moving over to the next tab, you can also search for Facebook groups that are related to your family name and surnames. So, for example, if you search Bryant family, let's see, so Bryant family, do a search, and then limit it to groups. As I did, I went too fast, but if you limit it to groups, then you'll see various choices here of groups you can join of other people. Like, for example, this one, Bryant family. This group comprised descendants of General and Dora Bryant. Now, it's all over the place. There's like a million different things. But if you take a look around, you may find one that's relevant to your genealogy um, and the people that you're looking for. Um, so, okay. Then in addition to family groups, you can also look at more topical groups. And this is one that I am a member of. It's called Finding Your Virginia Roots. My family is mainly from Virginia. And I found a lot of great information through groups like this. So, for example, people will, like the moderator of the group will post various topics um, that are of interest for people in this topic. Like, here's one for a Find Your Family History Genealogy webinar series from the Library of Virginia. But also, kinds of things that I like on these groups, like, see, here's where someone submitted a question that says, when people die between 1820 and 1860 in Virginia, was they recorded somewhere officially as a date, a place, and burial? I have some lost relatives who were in Bedford area and just disappeared off the census and land records and chancery cases during those years. So it's like a great way, a great forum for you to get information and tips on where to go to look for this information. And you can often find people who are sort of in the same situation that they're looking for information, they just don't know where to go to find it. So I this has been a great help to me and a great resource. Let's see. Also, the people who moderate this group, they'll post articles from things like legacytree.com. Like, here's an article about divorce records and journals, a source for family history discoveries from My Heritage blog. So it's just kind of a good way to educate yourself about genealogy and family history research. Okay. Now, also on Facebook, in addition to groups, I would recommend following and liking pages of libraries and archives. So, for example, here's the National Archives Facebook page, and I follow this page, and I just find, other than the fact that I just find stuff like this just really interesting on a personal level, it's nice. Just regularly, they will publish content, and it will show up in your news feed. About new collections that the National Archive is making available. Let's see, information about virtual programs that you can attend. Like, see, here's information from their virtual programs newsletter. And so the information is just made available to you, and it kind of helps you become a better researcher. Um, Citizen archivists triple contributions to National Archives cataloging during pandemic. You know, I'm a total nerd, and I find stuff like that really interesting. So I follow the page, and I read their articles and posts regularly. And then, so things like National Archives, Library of Congress, those are great pages that you can like and follow. Then, for example, another, like a more local example of an archive or society that you could follow would be Kentucky Genealogical Society. And this is a great thing to follow because you can, it helps you stay aware of events and educational opportunities going on in your area. A lot of them in person when we're not all confined to our living rooms. But, you know, Kentucky Genealogical Society, they regularly post on their Facebook page about events going on in your area that will be of interest to you. So the next question may be, well, how do I find out about which pages, which, you know, libraries and archives and groups? How do I discover them? Well, I found a really good website. It's maintained by this genealogist named Catherine Wilson, and she's a professional genealogist. And on her page, she publishes a list of basically all the genealogy related Facebook pages. And she publishes them in a list, which Donna, I think, is going to give you the website in the chat, but it's also under our Genealogy Club. But here's the link from her page. And if you go over to the Genealogical and Historical Groups pages on Facebook, there are thousands and thousands of Facebook pages related to genealogy. And you can go into the table of contents and find the state that you're looking for. So if I'm, you know, Massachusetts, my family's from Massachusetts, and I want Massachusetts related Facebook pages. So you can click, and then it will take you into a list of, you know, many historical societies, collections, libraries, Facebook groups related to Massachusetts. And it has the link. So you can then click on that and then join the group or follow the page. So I thought that was actually a pretty amazing list. She updates it regularly. I'm not sure how regularly it's updated, but if you go and follow Catherine Wilson's page on Facebook, she says that she makes it known when she updates the Facebook group. So, okay. That's that. Did anyone have any questions about Facebook yet?
No questions so far. So Catherine is sort of like a Cindy's List for Facebook. Cindy's List does websites.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great comparison. Okay. So those were the tips I wanted to provide about Facebook. And then I wanted to switch over and I wanted to talk a little bit about eBay, because I kind of recently discovered eBay is a great source for genealogy and history materials. And I will caution you, it can get a little bit, if you're one who's prone to impulse buying, it can be a little bit risky to start looking for stuff on eBay. There's lots of historical, like family histories, old Bibles, old postcards, collections of photographs that are available on eBay. And for example, if I did Virginia genealogy, and I read that it's recommended to search it under the topic everything else. Go down to the bottom, everything else, search. Then you can just kind of spend hours here going through the list, looking at stuff that would be of interest to you. And I also found where you can get more specific in your searches as well. Like I'm from a small town in Virginia called Alta Vista, and I love old postcards. So I just put in Alta Vista, Virginia postcards, and I found some that were of interest to me. Um, so yeah, it's worth taking a look at eBay. Like here's one of an old drugstore in town. Um, so it's pretty interesting thing to lose yourself in. John, have you ever used eBay very much? We're looking for stuff.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. Like, and there,
I have quite the collection of cold scripts now, thanks to eBay.
yeah. And like, for example, there have been books I've looked for um, that I would have had to have interlibrary loaned. Um, here's one that I did recently, Tracks Along the Staunton. And so here it is. I was like, they would never have this obscure, no one's selling this obscure book. But, somewhere someone is selling something if you're looking for it. It's not, there's a likely chance that you'll find something as well on there. So I just wanted to point that out that is a good resource for obtaining materials. That was a lot of what I prepared to talk about today. Did anyone else have any other topics they wanted to um, address? Any like roadblocks in your genealogy or um, questions about things from our Kentucky Free page or anything?
Sarah shares another link for books at addall.com.
Okay.
Out of print book, Sarah?
Add all.
Addall.com.
Adall is it's a website that checks over a dozen different online book vendor sites. Everything from Amazon, Alibris, A-Books. So if you look up there and you see the tabs at the top where you can see used books, you can actually go in there. I usually check the used books area for stuff that would be out of print. And even if you're not sure, you can actually just do keyword searches for different subjects or areas to try to come up with hits if you're not looking for a specific title.
Okay.
And Charles says to search eBay for family surnames.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
David, what
yeah.
about that website? Was it New River that contained some nice links to genealogy for Southern Virginia, but also North Carolina?
New River Notes.
There you go.
Let's see. Let me.
Okay, Sarah, you don't realize how loud I'm typing until somebody points it out on a webinar.
Yeah, I was doing some surname um, searches. Yeah. So yeah, as Charles said, you can search. You can search a surname and then add a term like genealogy to it, and then you will find, chances are you'll find some results. And then the website that, this is like a shifting gears a lot, but the website that Denise just brought up, the New River Notes. See, this is about, this is dedicated to counties in northwestern North Carolina, that are centered around the New River. So the New River in Virginia and North Carolina, and then it becomes the Kanawha River when you get into West Virginia. But this is really a pretty great website. A lot of people from Kentucky have family members going back to this region. And so basically, it has all the different counties and records and information, photographs that are related to it. So you can click on the county. So for example, Grayson County. And then it has them broken down into subject areas: agriculture, industry. Let's see, statistics. So here you can go in and you can look, like here's Grayson County marriages, 1793 to 1836. Grayson County birth records, 1884 to 1888. Like, before the state maintained vital statistics. There's a lot of great information on this website. I've used it quite a bit. Yeah, so thanks, Denise. That was a good suggestion.
And guys, going back to Facebook, if you use software like Ancestry or Family Tree Maker or Legacy, search for user groups. Like Ancestry has their official company's Facebook group, and then there is a users group as well. So make sure that you are looking at those and joining those for tips and tricks and updates and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Any other questions? Heard someone.
Don't see anything coming in. Have I missed anybody's question? Let me scroll back through chat. I don't see anything I've missed.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Well, I forgot what the topic is for next week. I think, Jake, are you doing?
If I'm the one doing it, it's going to be Chronicling America, Genealogy Bank, and newspapers.com.
Okay, that sounds great.
For next week.
Yes.
So 1 o'clock next Saturday. Same place, same link, same link. Same back channel.
If anybody wants to mix it up, they could do it from their dining room next time. Like, I'll be in my living room.
I did it from my daughter's yard.
Yeah, we can try different rooms. And like we said, this can also be a chance for people to ask us questions. In the Genealogy Club, we often go around the room and people talk about their roadblocks, like where they're hitting a barrier and they look for tips to go farther. So we can do it that way. So in addition to the prepared topics that we have, we just like to sit here and talk. So.
Thank you all for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
And I reposted David's email if you need to email David.
Okay.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming.
guess I need to know how to quit the meeting. I'm still looking for the
I think you can just close your.
on an iPad. Does that matter?
I
Have to
think
do?
you can just close the app, and it because eventually we'll close.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, looks like everybody's gone. I'm going to stop the recording.